How many times have we heard these words? It makes me sad, or it makes me really, really happy, or that person made me feel angry. Either we said them ourselves, we've heard other people say it. And today I'm going to challenge that thinking. Make me do something. It's quite a common phrase. We've probably heard it ourselves in different forms, varieties, either from children or from friends. And I really want to actually kick in the teeth slightly of this statement, because we can get it's a real trap, and it sounds such a subtle thing, and I feel quite passionate about it, but we need to be really mindful when it comes to this particular language pattern. And we believe that something or someone has made us feel a certain way. It is a massively debilitating and disempowering sentence to hang on to, and removes accountability and responsibility for ourselves in a dramatic way. Now, I am making a bit of a fuss about this. This is something that does get me quite passionate, it gets me a little upset. So why is this important to me? It's important because if we can begin to realize that things or people don't make us feel a certain way or respond in a certain way, we can begin to realize that we have more control on our feelings than you probably realize. And why is that important? Well, if we begin to understand that other things external to us don't make us feel a certain way, well then it's all us. It's all our response. It's all how we're handling it. And if it's all us, well then we can control it. We can see it in a different way. We can focus from a different light. If we can remove the belief that external properties of people or situations make us, like somehow a light switch on our head, flick on a particular response, if we can remove that, we're enabled to take responsibility and accountability for our actions. Take a situation you're familiar with, where you've heard yourself or other people say, this has made me feel sad, shall we say. Something along those lines that you've heard. What's that person actually doing in that sentence? They're saying, I'm a victim of that situation and I feel this way, and it's because of that situation or person I'm feeling this. If you just kind of take a moment to just think about those words, it's so disempowering, so passing responsibility to other things, that it actually kind of creeps me out slightly, because it's that kind of there's kind of no accountability, no responsibility for the feelings. Whilst we can get upset over certain things happening, external influences don't make us upset. It's the meaning that we give the situation or the person's response that creates our reaction. It's the meaning we give it. If we can begin to understand that it's the meaning we give things which determines how we feel about them, we begin to take some control. We step out of that kind of victim role. That's not to say that situations or things that happen to us can't be bad or negative, but how we turn that into the meaning we give them and how we respond to them is in our control. And the sooner you can understand that, the sooner you can realize that we can control what's inside ourselves, the greater chance we can dominate the situation, overcome it, and not be defined by it. Taking it to an extreme, there's people that I've had conversations with where, I've heard sometimes, she makes me upset. If only she knew what she was doing to me. If only he could understand how much hurt it's causing me. A lot of language which says those people are responsible for how I'm feeling right now. Hang on to that thought for a moment. Doesn't it also seem really kind of wrong to have that? So that's why I push this so strongly, to really become aware of when we're saying things. Things don't make us a certain way. We create a response, an emotional response to other stimulations. So we can control those things. Nothing makes us feel a certain way. So what are we going to do about that? And to be fair, the best way forward on that is to notice when a sentence kind of comes out, if you hear it, and then rephrase it, reframe it, so we're taking it back into ourselves. Okay, so an example would be, she makes me upset. So how do we rephrase that? Well, you'd start by saying that I feel upset when she says this, does this, or whatever it may be. I feel, so it's internalized, when she does those things. Now, what's really interesting, you take it to another level, is that you can get a little more specific on what that person has done, which is making you feel upset. She looked at me a certain way. Okay, well, there's something you could discuss. Or when she did something, it made me feel a certain way. Well, maybe, again, a discussion about how that has to be changed. We're all just taking it back in control of ourselves. We're taking responsibility for that feeling. So I don't make you angry. What I do, how I act, may anger you, but the anger comes from within. So you are angry at me because I did X or Y, whatever it may be. The sooner we can get to understand this, take this bit of accountability into our language, the bit more empowered we are. We realize that actually that people can't make us feel something. It's actually about how we respond to it because of what it means to us. So take from this what you can. I think there's some real value in this very small, subtle, at this point, awareness. Become aware of when you're doing this, or aware when you hear it, and how often you hear it. Think about this for a second. Here's a good example. How many situations you've been in where there's been a lot of happiness around one person, maybe a birthday party, for example, or a celebration, but that one person has been sad. Because no matter how much external stimulation there is, party balloons or cake or whatever it may be, or friends around, giving them a lot of love, you can't make that person feel happy if they're not feeling it inside, if it doesn't mean enough to them to make themselves feel happy. So go out, try it, and I hope you get some benefit from it.